What would happen if Ruben Amorim changes to a 4-3-3 with Manchester United? In this video, I'm going to try to show you what this would look like in practice and whether I believe it would be a worthwhile adjustment to make. Before starting, I just want to plug this video that I did previously, as it gives a more in-depth look into tactical philosophies versus formations. I would highly recommend giving it a watch if you have the time. Also, shout out to this absolute legend for this comment. You know, as a small YouTube creator, it is sometimes so hard to find the motivation to make these videos with such a small audience, but stuff like that really makes it worthwhile. Anyway, let's get into it. So this is how Manchester United currently line up in a 3-4-3. We don't need to go too much into this, everyone knows the drill. And this of course is a 4-3-3, which a lot of fans have been saying this is what Ruben Amorim needs to change into. Firstly, I want to go and see what the build-up play would look like should Amorim change to a 4-3-3. This is how United currently set up for their goal kicks, or if the goalkeeper has just caught the ball or there's an offside. You know, basically if United have a short period of time when they're unchallenged in their own box. The first thing I want you to notice is, doesn't this actually just look like a 4-3-3 anyway? You see, you've got the two centre-backs who are quite wide. Dalot, who's at the bottom of the screen, which you can just about see. The left wing-back, probably Dorgu, he would be pretty much in line with Dalot on the other side of the pitch. And one centre-back has pushed up into midfield, effectively becoming a midfield 3. This is a very common setup when United are building up from the back. So in a 4-3-3, it is really easy to imagine how Amorim would set up when playing out the back. You'd have the two centre-backs just a little bit wider, the two full-backs providing width higher up, and a midfield 3. So what changes? Well, instead of having a centre-back as a makeshift number 6, you would end up with a real number 6. Someone who can legitimately play there, receive the ball, and hopefully progress the play. However, what I'm about to say is really key. One of Amorim's core tactical philosophies is direct vertical play. Making 50 horizontal passes or backward passes along the back line around the number 6 area until a player comes into space just isn't Amorim's blueprint. No, what he does is he likes to invite a high press, and once that high press has been triggered, he sends the ball long to a target man. This season it's Sesko, last season it was Højlund, and if Sesko's not playing, it's either one of Xerxes, Mbuemo or Cunha. This does not change if the formation is changed. So even if you have a 4-3-3 and there's an extra man in the midfield, he will still get bypassed by the long direct balls, which are a core philosophy for Ruben Amorim. Regardless, let's continue and see how United would set up playing the ball down the pitch. As already explained, United really like to go long. In fact, if you look at the statistic, Manchester United have the highest number of accurate long balls per match, by quite some distance. So obviously, Amorim would want his players set up in positions where he could take advantage of this. So in a 4-3-3, you wouldn't see wide wingers, you'd see them coming quite narrow near to Sesko, so they're in a position to win the second balls. The fullbacks would then be required to provide width, so you'd see them pushing up further up the pitch. You'd then need one of the midfielders to stay further back, because ideally you wouldn't just want two centre-backs there, just in case the opposition launches a counter-attack. And then the other two CMs would push further forward. So again, there aren't huge differences to what you see now. And the reason is really simple. The patterns of play will always be extremely similar, no matter what formation is used, as long as the tactical principles remain the same. So let's now take a look at Man United in defence. Right now they go 5 at the back and usually have a 5-2-3 formation. When United are in this low block shape, they can usually defend quite comfortably, as obviously they have a lot of men back. This might be where we would see the most visual changes should Amorim change to the 4-3-3, as United will either set up in a low block with a 4-5-1 like this, or in a 4-1-4-1 like this. The question is, are United vulnerable right now in the current low block formation? You can definitely argue they are, so a change in defensive structure at this point could be something that would improve results. However, the biggest problem Man United have defensively isn't during their low block phase, it's during the transitional phase. When play is stretched due to Amorim's preference for direct vertical balls, you'll notice the midfield is extremely vulnerable. And like we saw against Brentford, United are susceptible to long balls themselves. So does this change if Man United change to a 4-3-3? No, It does not, because the issue is due to the tactical principle, not the formation. The formation is just the structure. The tactical philosophies dictate the patterns of play. We can go again to the graphics showing United using a 4-3-3 using direct vertical play. If the ball has been sent long, the players need to be close to the striker to win the second balls. The defenders are still deep as they were the ones who sent the long ball over, and the midfield is still stretched. So what is the conclusion? For me, I really think it doesn't matter what formation Man United play with. The same issues, the same problems will keep on arising, and they're due to the coach's tactical philosophies. What needs to change is Amorim's approach to the game to ensure Man United are less vulnerable when they give the ball away. The question is he capable of doing so? Only time will tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, as it would really help me out. Cheers.